critical about what we've always said about the job search, because you're not supposed to put a photo on your resume unless you're a model or a news anchor where photo matters. It's HR people don't ever want to get sued for discrimination and show that, oh, you have gray hair or you're not the right color or weight. But when it comes to LinkedIn, they want a photo. If you don't have a photo, you don't score as high in the algorithm. So a photo is important. Don't put your family photo up there. It's just a headshot. You don't have to go spend, $100 or more with a professional photographer. You can have someone else take a nice headshot of you and just crop it for what your needs are. Also, you never want to put in your headline that you're unemployed. Nobody looks as a keyword and says, I'm going to go search for someone who's unemployed today. No, they're going to look for a dynamic real estate person with 10 years of experience or something to that effect that's in your headline statement.
Yeah, I'll see that on LinkedIn. I'll see like currently seeking opportunities or something like that.
No, those are not search words.
Okay.
The search words are the actual job, the job titles. So because I have several, I'm a magazine editor, I'm a LinkedIn profile advisor, I'm a resume writer. I covered all that so that if someone is doing a search for those things, I get emails all the time saying, hey, there's a company that's looking for a content writer or a magazine writer or a publisher. And it's like, oh, thank you. I know my profile is working because I'm just getting people are reaching out to me asking me to apply for jobs.
Also, too, going hand in hand with LinkedIn and then on your resume, recommendations or testimonials. Do you want testimonials on your resume?
I do like a testimonial. The reason I say that is, what we say about ourselves is bragging. I'm stealing this from Zig Ziglar. I think that was him who said it. But what we say about others is proof. So whether you have an employment, your personnel file, every year they give you I'm losing my mind right now. Every year you sit down and you get your evaluation for the past year. Did you meet your goals? And your supervisor will tell you what a great job you did in certain areas and where you need to improve. You can grab some testimonial quotes from there for your resume. I like to use a sentence or two, and there is an example at my website, SusanGeary.com, on where to put it. Testimonial quotes you leave for other people on LinkedIn, and you hope that they leave them for you, basically describing what you were like to work with. That's a reference for you.
Yeah, I just got one today, which it's a good feeling. Plus, like you said, they are true. People aren't making them up, and then it takes some effort to do it. And then when other people see it, they're like, "Hey, this is a pretty genuine person I'm dealing with here," or "Oh, wow, they really were able to increase production at their employment and with their previous employer or at this time frame in their life, and by blah blah blah." But I feel like those recommendations are pretty strong.
Well, also the way the LinkedIn algorithm gives you weights, you need to have at least 3. At least it used to be that way. It may have changed because it always is, as far as raising your score. So, for example, if a recruiter does a search for a real estate person in Roanoke, if you have 3 testimonial quotes that you have given for someone else and other people have given you, that raises your score to get you to the top. So there might be 4,000 realtors in Roanoke area, and we want to get you close to the top, and that's how you float up. Also, the number of connections you have, quality connections you have, like within your industry. I have other resume writers who are always hooking up with me, and it's like normally it's like, why would I want to hook up with my competition if I have 70 other resume writers with me? Because it just raises our score.
Gotcha.
I also recommend a custom URL, and this is something that most people are not aware of. But you know how you can go get your own domain, which they're getting harder to find now. Someone will sell you FrazierHughes.com maybe if it wasn't available. Someone else had it for years for thousands of dollars. But LinkedIn, you can just go in and you hit your edit button under contact information. And if you don't remember this, just go to Google and put in free custom URL LinkedIn, and it'll give you directions on how to do that, and it takes you less than 2 minutes. It's very easy, and that way you can put in, your new URL will be linkedin.com/in/whatever you choose. Mine says First Rate Resumes. I should have chosen Susan Geary at the time in case I ever wanted to change, but at least I own that domain now, so if I ever sell the business, it can go with it. But I recommend you use your name. If you're a John Smith and John Smith has long been taken, you can look at Mr. John Smith, MBA, John Smith real estate agent, something to that effect, because LinkedIn will automatically assign you John Smith dash and a bunch of letters and symbols that are kind of hard to put on your business card. So you always want to be able to put on your business card your LinkedIn address. You don't have to put the www and the HTTPS. Just put linkedin.com/in/whatever your custom URL that you
it's really simple. You just click on the Me icon, view profile, and then click edit public profile and URL. That's really awesome. Thanks for that tip.
You bet. And you put that on your resume, and you put it on, like, if you have a calling card, I recommend calling cards. You know, we do have a job search group here in Roanoke that's been running for 19-plus years, maybe 20 by now. It's called Back on the Path. It meets, well, when COVID's not going on, we meet every Tuesday night at the United Methodist Church in Cave Spring at 7 p.m. It's on Hazel Drive, and we're just kind of a group meeting where we go around, we talk about the job search, we talk about these things that you and I are. People bring their questions. We are doing Zoom meetings online at this time, and we do mini seminars and workshops as well. So we might have an HR person do a presentation on everything from telephone interviews to filling out job applications to best places to search, because we can't cover the entire job search for everybody in an hour, and everybody is different. Just like, again, tax preparation, hate to bring it back there, but that's my best analogy for the job search, is treat it much like you would when you're doing your taxes every year to take care of your own career.
Yeah, and that leads me to the last question we'll wrap up the interview with, is you are a job search coach, which
right.
Which is, it's like, hey, no, I don't think many people realize that there's that type of person out there. I mean, we know that there's a possibility someone can help me with my resume, but knowing that there's someone like you, it's a big deal. What does it entail being a job search coach? I mean, walk me through that.
Well, for example, I have a client right now who has been at the same job for 25 years. So they have not been out looking, and they don't know that we no longer need a one-page resume or where the jobs are online. So, for example, you had mentioned you and I both work in radio. We know that there are specific radio websites that always have job openings on them, legitimate job openings. So allaccess.com is usually where I go. But a lot of people may not be aware of that because they haven't been searching for a new job for years. People who work in public relations, I tell them, go to the Public Relations Society of America website. That's an association. Those typically also have postings for jobs. Before you do the Indeed, I don't even know if Monster is relevant anymore. LinkedIn has some pretty good jobs. I'm very impressed with what LinkedIn is doing, but be very careful of the job search scams. So those are some of the things I go through with people. I talk about, how the process has changed, how we now always start with a telephone interview. Well, guess what? Now it's Skype and Zoom interviews. So you want your background, to look decent. You don't want a mess back there. You don't want the, racy posters or the pot leaf or, anything crazy that could put you in a bad light.
Well, didn't Virginia just legalize marijuana?
I think I heard that the governor was looking at doing it in 2021, but you might know more than me on that.
Yeah, maybe they should
might be jobs there for agriculture people.
Yes, so don't have the bong in the Skype or a beer in your hand.
Exactly. And I remember the first time I had to do a Skype interview, it was a long-distance interview with an Oregon public radio station. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never done one of these, but this is great. We went out, we bought a decent camera and set up a background. And then I went on Facebook and I asked my friends, who has Skype and who can help me practice? So I practiced with a friend before I ever went live with an employer, because you're looking at a camera, and then they're in a screen down there to the right or just below it, and you don't want to look like you're looking down. You want to look into the camera when you're talking to them. So having that practice ahead of time with this new medium, always do that. Don't do that on the fly.
You're very interesting. I mean, I could talk to you forever. I thought I had one last question, but what about a digital resume? Say you put a video together of like a minute long of you and some of your achievements and like the 5 places you've worked. Do you suggest that?
I think that's a great idea, especially for someone in sales or in marketing who really needs to get out there and prove themselves. It may not work so much if you're an accountant, because they don't really care so much about those skills in accountancy. But for promotional people, especially those who are in radio and television, I know that when iHeartMedia laid off how many thousands of people in the last 4 months, that's a great idea.
Hey, all right. So last question. I thought I was done. All right, you got the resume together. It looks good, and you send it off to the company. Talk about the follow-up after that. Do you write them a letter? Do you send them an email like, hey, did you get my resume? I mean, that's the worst feeling when you send your resume out and they're like, hey, we got your resume, and then there's no reply back. Getting through the gatekeeper, how often should you follow up? What are those next steps?
I would wait a few days, and if you don't hear anything, give them a call. Try that first, because you are selling yourself, and especially if you do work in sales and marketing, the fortune is in the follow-up. It's not that maybe they didn't get your resume, it's that they just haven't even looked into the pile yet, because, their phones are ringing, they're short-staffed, they're like maybe hiring a temp, they have their own COVID problems. We don't know. And when you're on the job seeker side, you think it's all about you, like, wow, why haven't they gotten back to me? Solve their problems. Call them up and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm very interested in this job. If you have a moment, I always start with, is this a good time? Because you don't want to be interrupting something. And just let them know, I am really interested, and that's why I'm placing this phone call, and when you're going to start interviewing, because I would love to have an interview for this job. I think I do a great job for you.
Oh, I love that.
That goes a long way. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't say this. Hey, is now a good time to chat? Well, not really, Frazier. Well, I don't care because I really need a job.
Yeah.
All right. So, and also too, one other tip is you could find out somebody else if you know them that works there to put a bug in their ear, right?
Exactly.
All right.
People like to hire people they know.
Awesome. God, you're rock solid. So, hey, I want to thank Susan Geary for joining me today on the Roanoke Real Estate Podcast. So if you're looking to put together a solid rock star resume, she can help you. And also on the job search, and this covers all the arenas. She's a job search coach, been doing resumes for over 20 years. And tell us again how we connect with you.
You can go to firstrateresumes.com. Sometimes people will call it One Straight Resumes because I use the number 1, but I do also have on the website, if you spell it out, I bought all the domains years ago, but it's important that it's plural, firstrateresumes.com. You can also do a Google search for Roanoke Resume Writer, and I should come up right there.
Oh, wow, you're fantastic, and I really appreciate you and your time today.
Thank you very much, Frazier.
Want to be on the Roanoke Real Estate Podcast? Call Frazier now or text 540-314-5583. Also contact Frazier to sell or find your next home, and he is always fresh on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Stay positive, Star City and Hughes, don't lose it.